Okay, so the next forms we're going to cover are the seller property questionnaire and the TDS, a transfer disclosure statement. These two forms are required by the seller to be completed and signed manually because those forms require specific information about the home, information that we don't have as agents. So what we'll do is go to the SIP Forms portal. What we'll do, we'll populate the SPQ seller property questionnaire and the transfer real estate transfer disclosure, which is a TDS. So here, these two forms, they require specific information about the property that we don't have. Therefore, all of these have to be completed by the sellers. And unless they're, very computer savvy, these are hard to complete, check boxes, explain things. So typically what I do to make it easier for everybody, here, just make sure that you have the address completed on these forms before you send them to the seller. Make sure that you have your name on them also. Make sure that it has your name also on them. Save changes, yes. And the same thing for the transfer real estate transfer form. So in this form, the seller has to fill in what is included in the house, what appliances, what other features are present. They have to provide information about the water supply, gas supply. Is it gas? Is it solar, electric? So all of these boxes have to be checked. Or not checked. If there's no gazebo, you're not going to check it. There's no sauna, you're not going to check that. They have to complete, if there's an exhaust fan in the kitchen, which typically there is one, they should fill out kitchen or bathrooms. If there's a 220 volt wiring plug in the laundry room, they should include that. If there's a fireplace, they need to specify where there is a fireplace. As you can see, this is very specific. Any defects or malfunctions in any of these items, so they have to click yes or no. If there's no issue, then they just click no and leave everything blank. If they click yes, they have to specify what it is. Is it the roof? If they say any issues with something, they click yes. They specify what the issue is. Maybe the roof. They click the roof. They check the box with the roof, and they explain here roof leaks now or used to leak in the past. So since these forms have to be completed by the seller and signed, what I do then is send it to them by email separately. So what I do, I click these two forms, I save them as PDF to my device in a single file. And download them. Here I can download them to a folder, put it in the downloads, I can put in there 123 Main Street, seller forms to complete, sign. So now they're going to be in my downloads, documents. So here you have them ready to be emailed to your seller. And so I have an example of an email sent to the seller with this. Okay, so after downloading the forms that you're going to send to your sellers, what I do, I draft an email to explain to them what we're sending. So after we download the forms that we want them to complete and sign, the SPQ and the TDS form, then we draft an email to the seller, letting him know that we're sending him the forms. This is an example of a recent transaction where I sent the forms to my seller. So you explained to them, good morning, seller, these two seller disclosures need to be completed by the seller of the property as the questions are specific to the condition of the home and features of the home. Can you please complete and sign these forms and send back? If you need any help completing them, just call me so we can go through them together. As for the rest of the disclosures and reports, which are hundreds of pages, you can go ahead and review them online and sign them electronically. I'll send those general seller disclosures and reports in a separate email at a later time. Please let me know when you finish signing these two seller disclosures. Thank you. So you draft this email so you can explain to the seller why you're sending him these forms to complete and sign. Typically what they'll do, they'll reply back and they'll have the forms completed. Here this client completed them. He's computer savvy, so he checked the boxes electronically, signed the name. He explained anything that had to be explained if he checked the boxes yes and yes. So that's what you want to see. What I did later, I went ahead and signed the form myself on my PDF program. And usually we go by the date that they signed it. So in this case, I used the date for me to sign 4/11/2024. So as you can see, this seller was very diligent and very thorough on filling out the disclosures. So that's it for the forms that they have to fill out manually and sign manually. And once you sign them yourself, then you can put them in a folder where you can go ahead and compile these forms with all the other forms that are going to get signed so you can send to the buyer's agent.